This is Ethiopia, the most populous landlocked country in the world, and the second most populous country in Africa after Nigeria. And yet, its electricity is produced from 100% renewable sources, making it one of the greenest countries in the world. Let's find out why. If you're new here, this is Parth, and welcome to What's Next, a channel where we explore the ins and outs of sustainability and our journey towards a greener world. Back to the video. Now, nearly all of electricity in Ethiopia comes from hydropower, with a small portion coming from wind. Hydropower in Ethiopia accounts for nearly 96% of the total electricity production. For context, that's more than Norway, which provides nearly 88% of its electricity with hydropower, and Norway is said to be one of the greenest countries in the world with well-developed hydropower. And coming back to Ethiopia, hydrogeneration is here to stay. Ethiopia has seen rapid development in recent times, and it has seen a rapid increase in electricity demand, which is mainly coming from increasing access to electricity, but also a rapid pace of urbanization. And meeting this rapid growth in Ethiopian demand will be hydro. The largest hydropower project in Africa, called the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, is under construction in Ethiopia, and though it has been delayed due to geopolitical concerns, once commissioned, it will nearly double Ethiopia's power output. And for context, the reservoir of this dam is nearly the size of Greater London. So you can just imagine how large this will be. Now, what can the world learn from Ethiopia? There are two key lessons here. The first is of natural resource optimization, and the second is of geopolitical energy cooperation. On the first, our journey towards a cleaner world requires sustainable and efficient use of the natural resources we have available, and Ethiopia is a case study on resource development. And Ethiopia could have very well chosen the path of fossil fuels. In fact, in 2000s, where it saw a rapid spurt in its electricity demand, it had to use oil to meet that electricity demand. And for a brief period in the 2000s, it actually saw generation from oil rise by nearly 1,000%. And this share of oil generation could have very well stayed. But Ethiopia was determined to use its natural resources. And by the 2010s, it had constructed a dam called the Tekezi Dam, which not only fulfilled electricity needs in Ethiopia, but it actually allowed oil to fall to zero again. So Ethiopia by 2010s was once again free from fossil fuel generation. Even now, the focus on hydropower projects has continued. The Koisha Dam opened in 2021, which saw Ethiopia try to capitalize on its underutilized resource potential of hydro. But beyond hydro, Ethiopia has diversified to wind and solar generation as well. Ethiopia is developing the Aisha wind farm with UAE's Amia Power, and this, when completed, will be Ethiopia's biggest wind farm at 300 megawatts. On to the second lesson of geopolitical energy cooperation. And it comes as no surprise that Ethiopia is blessed with natural resources. But the capitalization of these resources can actually benefit not just Ethiopia, but also its neighbors. And this is where cooperation comes in. Surplus electricity can actually be exported out of Ethiopia to its neighbors, and this can lead to greater prosperity for all. It leads to higher revenues for Ethiopia, but it also leads to much needed power for places like Kenya. And the Eastern Electricity Highway project aims to do just that. It aims to connect Ethiopia and Kenya, allowing Ethiopia to sell power, making it a win-win situation for all. Geopolitical energy cooperation with its neighbors is crucial, and it can be applied to just about any geopolitical cluster in the world. Indeed, Europe is just a prime example of this, with just about every country in the European Union interconnected very, very well. Now, with this, I leave you with the two lessons, which were of resource maximization and of geopolitical energy cooperation. But before I end the video, I want to caveat by saying that Ethiopia should by no means also be taken as a model country for renewable development. It struggles to provide electricity to more than half of its rural population, and even its urban population does not have full access to electricity. Even the dams themselves, they've had some concerns raised around them. Most recently, Egypt has raised a concern around the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, talking about the effect on the Nile River. However, with all of that said, There's a lot that Ethiopia has done right, and it is important that we highlight what its positives are, and this is what I've tried to do in this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and please like and subscribe if you liked the video. See you next time.